Hey, what's up, Bob Mortgage Nation? This is the 8th episode of the Ask Bob Mortgage Show. You have questions, I have answers. Great question.
What I want to be able to do is give you world life experiences that I've been going through.
So what do we talk about on the show? Well, it's all about you guys asking questions and giving us a chance to answer them. So all I'll ask you to do is go to social profiles, right? Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. You can even send me a video. But if you're on those social profiles, ask a question, hashtag AskBobMortgage, and we'll work to find those questions and get them into the Ask Bob Mortgage Show. So I know my team's picked out some good ones, so let's start with this one. This is the 8th episode. We got Hector back on the episode, thankfully. The best one, I think, has to be my wife. I mean, she did a great job, but I know you were like way up there with her. So let's knock this one out. We got some questions.
Absolutely. Justin on Facebook asks, with high purchase prices and rates on the rise, is now the best time to buy, or should I wait another year?
Okay, that's a great question, Justin. Good job. Thanks, Facebook. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do on this one, I'm going to put together a couple of charts. Brandon, if you wouldn't mind, I'm going to answer the question the best I can. I'm going to put some charts together, and then if you wouldn't mind throwing these charts up as I talk, so that way he can see what I'm going through. So, look, there's a cost to waiting when people make decisions to buy or not buy. So if we're talking about like buying a home right now, and you're saying, well, I think I want to wait because interest rates may go down or home prices are going to be a little bit lower, or things like that. Let's kind of frame it in that type of context. We know with pretty high level of certainty interest rates are on the rise, right? Anything we read, anything we look for, we research, Fed, their announcements, interest rates are rising. We also know, if we're talking about this market, I don't know what his name was. Justin. I don't know where Justin is, but I'm assuming, let's say he's in, let's just go with the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, or Texas for that matter. We're pretty good and certain with what our appreciation has been over a period of time. So we know that we're not necessarily seeing pullbacks in home prices. So if we take, let's say, a $350,000 home is what I'll use, we're going to look at a 5% appreciation on that property. So if you wait from now buying it versus 1 year, that 5% is going to be, it's going to cost you it'd be right at $367,500 for that home. So you could have bought it at $350,000, you waited 1 year, you're buying it at $367,500. So that means your down payment is going to be more, right? 3%, let's say you use a 3% of $350,000 is going to be less than 3% of $367,500. Then you have a higher monthly payment. Okay, why? So if we got a rate at 4.875 today, your rate's probably going to be 5.5 if you wait a year, because we're projecting in 2015, all the analysts, the Fed, everybody's saying, look, interest rates could be 5.5% very easily come this time next year. So you have to look at that. And so costs are going to increase, rates are going to increase, payments going to increase. Then what you lose is also you're going to lose appreciation. You lost the delta between 350 and 367. You lost that. You gave that away, right? Because you waited to pay for it for a year down the road. And then you also lost just what you could have paid into that balance, right? You lost that savings, that forced savings piece. So I bet my numbers are probably going to look at roughly about $20,000, $22,000, $23,000 that it's really going to truly cost you for waiting that 1 year. So I'll make sure the charts are up there, but that's what I bet it's going to show is somewhere between $20,000 and $23,000, $25,000 of a cost to wait. So I'd say buy now. Bottom line, that's what I would say.
Yeah,
it's
interesting to see that breakdown with the three factors.
Yeah, we'll make sure that gets up. All right, anything else?
Yes, we have from 71189K1 on Instagram, and they ask, hey Bob, I want to get cash out from my house to do some home improvements. Is it better for me to do a cash out refinance or a home equity line of credit?
Okay. It'll depend on, I'm K11, right? I don't know all the numbers, but Instagram. It's going to depend on how much you're really looking to take out for those home improvements. Okay, so there's some pros and cons of both the home equity line of credit and the cash out refinance. But let's kind of talk about some of the bigger picture things first. Is really what are you using the cash for? So this individual is for home improvement, but those are the questions you need to ask yourself. And then, like, are you looking for a fixed rate or an adjustable rate? Okay, and then like how quickly are you wanting to pay back the money? Because they're going to be different in each one of these scenarios. So let's say, for instance, a home equity line of credit. It's good. I mean, some of the good things is it allows you to borrow lower amounts of money. So you want to take out $2,000, $3,000, $5,000. That's great. That home equity line of credit will allow you to do that. It's kind of like a little bit of line of credit. Now, it's an adjustable rate, so the payments are going to be flex. And they're going to typically require it to be paid back a whole lot quicker. Some people, it could be 3 years, 5 years, 10 years for repayment on that money. But it does give you flexibility in that. Now, the downside is you have a lot of temptation. Okay, so if you have an open line of credit and you take out $3,000 and you don't pay that back, and then all of a sudden you take out another $3,000 and $5,000 and $7,000 and $10,000, all of a sudden you look up and that temporary type loan that has to be paid back really quickly, that's on an adjustable rate, has grown from $3,000 to $25,000 or $30,000, and that's where some challenges can arise for people. Now, the cash out refinance, pros and cons there. Like a home improvement, that's what we see a lot of people do. We do home improvement, loans or cash out refinances for people doing home improvements. We have one right now for like $100,000 we're doing for just the pool, right? Mm-hmm. We also see people doing, master bedrooms, bathrooms, kitchen remodels, all that kind of stuff. These work out really well for those big ticket items, those cash out refinances. They also work well for people looking to pay off credit card debt. So we've taken people that have $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 of credit card debt, pulled out the equity in a cash out refinance, paid off all that debt that was, at 12, 14, 18% interest, right? Because you've been part of those types of transactions with me, and it saved them so much money because they'll never get out of that debt. They're never getting out of that credit card debt. So we've done a good job there. Now, the other part of it is those are typically, we can put those on like 30-year fixed rates, right? That's where the good thing is. They can go 30-year fixed rate, which would lower that monthly payment overall for their debt load. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now the drawback on some of those cash out refinances is, look, if you're sitting at a 3.5 or a 4 or 4.5, percent rate, and when we do the refinance, we're refinancing your entire loan, right? We're not just giving you the $100,000 to do the pull. We have to refinance your existing balance plus the $100,000. So let's say you're at 4 and the cash out refinance is at 4.875. That whole thing becomes 4.875. So we just have to make sure it makes sense short and long term based on what you need to accomplish. So hopefully that answers the question. I'd probably say if it's home improvement, depending on the size, it's probably going to be best to do a cash out refinance. Cool.
Okay, next question. Matthew Soto on Facebook.
What's up, Matthew?
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, so what's your why and how that you determine that's what it was?
What's that?
Yeah, so let me...
Hold on one second. Let me read the question. What's your why and how did you determine that's what it was? Okay, So, all right, Matt, I know where this is coming from because we actually did a post. Fill up the post, Brandon, so they could see what that was. Mm-hmm. We did a post, Hector, about, I did one, it's a quote, it's really good, I think, or something like that, really good to know your why, right? That was what the quote was, centered around. Matthew, because I'm really trying to, get people to think about why they do what they do.
Okay, gotcha.
And he actually asked the question, what's my why? So here's the answer. And it's changed, because I've been doing this for 22 years, right? So it's changed over those 22 years. It started out, I think initially, I got in this business because I wanted to make as much money as I could. That was my why. I wanted to make as much money as I could. And as an entrepreneur, you have opportunities to make as much as you can, and you can also lose a lot. And I've actually done both in this space, right? I've made a lot and lost a lot. And I realized, honestly, it was a game that I would never win. There's too many opportunities for debits and credits in that type of game, and you're just not going to win it. So as I matured more in business, I learned that it's better to focus on impact of lives, okay? Because I can get up every day and know that I'm going to go to work and only make deposits, only have to work on the impacts and lives that I'm making. I can get rid of all the debits, right? All the things that weren't going to be positively impacting my life, other people's lives, and the business overall. And so I shifted, and it's all about just impacting people's lives. So we can impact them a lot of different ways with our quotes, our images, our inspiration, our motivation, basically also what I do, which is home loans, right? We can impact people's lives because we're helping them make the best financial decision of their lifetime and get into a property that increases their net worth. It gives them so much, it increases their forced savings, their net worth, their ability to create revenue streams through investment properties. So when I shifted my why to that, it really freed myself up to do what I want to do, what I'm most passionate about. It also gave me an opportunity to achieve the other why that I started with in the beginning, because those things come. When you really work to serve and impact others, the money piece will work itself out. So, Matthew, hopefully that answers your question, buddy. Thanks so much for asking it as well. What else we got?
That's it.
All right, well, 3 questions. Ask Bob Mortgage Show. So look, guys, you guys keep asking questions. Please, I want you to ask the questions. I want to be able to have an opportunity to answer the questions for you. So go out there on social media, okay? Ask them. Send in a video if you want to, right? I love the videos. But if you're out there, ask the question. # Ask Bob Mortgage. I'll come every week and try to answer them. Take care. Have a great week.